Welcome back. Now, it isn't widely known, but there is no government licensing of locksmiths, and locksmiths are not covered by the Security Industry Authority that licenses individuals working in specific sectors of the private security industry. Unfortunately, that means there are a lot of rogue locksmiths and scam artists operating around the country. And according to the Master Locksmiths Association, the UK's largest trade association for locksmiths, their numbers are on the rise. Well, joining me now is Steffan George. He's Managing Director of the Master Locksmiths Association. Steffan, good to see you.
Thank you.
Outline how big the problem is.
Unfortunately, it's too big. What we've found is since we've started recording complaints about rogue locksmiths, since 2020, we've had about 700 who come through, and the common thread seems to be the fact that they're found on adverts on search engines. But our concern is that's probably just the tip of the iceberg, because that's only the ones who have, A, bothered actually reporting it. What about those who haven't bothered? What about those who are perhaps too scared to? And it's also just one industry. What about all the others? So we really think that the search engines have a duty to engage with us, to look at what sort of criteria they put in place to allow people to advertise on their platforms.
And what sort of change have you had out of them thus far?
Nothing, unfortunately. No, it's interesting, actually, because Google themselves, they stopped advertising locksmiths abroad. I think it was Germany and some Scandinavian countries. But we've tried to engage with Google UK, for example, and we've had nothing back.
That's pretty shocking, isn't it, given... I mean, these people are preying on the elderly and vulnerable, by and large.
They are, absolutely. I mean, if what tends to happen is when you need a locksmith, you're in a vulnerable state, you're not sure what's going on. So that's why they're preying, using the search engines, because people think that, oh, if you're at the top of a search engine, you must be good. No, if you're at the top of a search engine, you've got a large marketing budget. That's all it is. So what we're saying is people shouldn't rely on using search engine adverts. They should actually know who they're going to use before they actually need a locksmith. So if they visit locksmiths.co.uk, they can take the details of their nearest MLA licensed locksmith, put them into their phone, and that way they're not going to use an advert and they're not going to be ripped off.
And what are the most common scams?
It tends to be bait and switch. So it's always a very cheap advert, around about £39, £49. And then they just keep repeating that price, and then they end up charging hundreds, if not thousands of pounds.
Oh, I mean, it's as wicked a crime as you can think of, really, isn't it?
It really is, and it tars everyone with the same brush. It really damages our industry as a whole, which is why we have an approved company scheme where they're vetted, inspected and qualified. But, as you said, there's no government regulation at all, so anybody can call themselves a locksmith.
Yeah, why is that?
It's a very good question. They regulate other parts of the security industry, but not locksmiths. I mean, we had an MP that created a debate for us at the House of Commons, and one of the ministers there said that there was no need to license locksmiths because the MLA does it already. They suggested that consumers use the MLA for its resources and that locksmiths join us, but that's all good and well. But it would be great if it was a bit like the gas safe register, where it was government mandated but run by a third party. So if we were running the scheme and it was government required to have an approval, that's what we would love to be.
Because presumably there's a cost involved for you for registering your members.
There is, yeah. We have to go through various processes. I mean, we changed the law on the vetting of locksmiths back in 2009, so they're vetted, we go out and inspect them, they have to pay some exam-based proof of competency. So there are costs involved, but then with the promotion that they're getting, they tend to get that back straight away.
Yeah, and the key thing is you are a non-profit organisation.
Absolutely,
You're there for the good of the industry.
Everything goes back into the industry, back into regulation, into promotion, all that kind of stuff.
All right, Steffan, really good to see you this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.